So it looks like another one of Blake and Ryan's dragons is going down. Ari Emanuel, Mr. Baldoni is no longer the CEO of WME Endeavor.
Blake Lively is famous for her grace under pressure. She's navigated countless interviews, paparazzi ambushes, and gossip-laden rumors with a cool composure that left fans in awe.
So I did know, because I had obviously very deeply looked into the Deadpool Wolverine movie.
But this time is different. This time, she's not playing the classy wave-it-off starlet who shrugs away petty talk. Allegedly, she's fighting fire with fire, fueling a showdown that has the internet on lockdown. Within hours, some say minutes, of Justin Baldoni's bombshell Instagram rant,
2009 Glamour UK interview by Blake Lively, and in her interview, she admitted to trying to poison the cast of Gossip Girl, which is where she made her name, against her co-star Penn Badgley.
Blake posted a stinging rebuttal on her own social platforms. She didn't mince words. She called out falsehoods, condemning Justin's claims as manipulative garbage built on resentment and twisted half-truths. She insisted she had the receipts to prove him wrong. And guess what? She threatened. What happened?
One person Blake Lively didn't get along with on Gossip Girl was her co-star Leighton Meester, who hated Lively so much that the producers had to put them in separate rooms for meetings because the two couldn't be around each other.
To drop them if he kept spouting nonsense, fans erupted in applause. Many were thrilled to see her abandon her usual safe approach for a no-holds-barred confrontation. According to sources close to Blake, she never wanted to stoop to public mudslinging.
So I met Blake a few times through Ryan on that film.
Got it.
And thought she seemed nice, and little did I know.
Yeah. Look at the body language experts analyzing this right now. How quickly do you...
Don't touch me.
But when somebody storms social media, calls your entire career a sham, and implies you're a puppet master behind closed doors, all bets are off. She's got a family to protect, a stellar reputation to uphold.
No, because Justin, 5 years ago, was the one who optioned this film. He brought Blake on because Colleen Hoover is such a big fan. This is his film, and he has basically been pushed out by the Blake Lively show, and that breaks my heart because I've always been a fan of Blake Lively.
And a brand that can't afford to be tarnished by ill-intentioned rumors. Blake's circle is reportedly stunned by Justin's behavior. After all, they once shared cordial encounters at Hollywood events.
They worked on the set of It Ends With Us, okay? And that the villain in this entire story is not Blake Lively, it's not Justin Baldoni, but it is Ryan Reynolds.
There were even whispered attempts at collaboration. Yet, behind the scenes, the cracks had been showing for a while. Could be creative disagreements, clashing egos, or a personal vendetta Justin's been harboring. One thing's for sure, Lively won't let her name get smeared without retaliation. Or wait.
All right, you guys, so Ryan Reynolds obviously has to be deported back to Canada.
Her friends, and even some big names in the industry, have expressed their support, though most do so quietly. Nobody wants to be publicly entangled in a war that's spiraling by the minute, but the hush-hush messages of solidarity speak volumes. Roll.
That's
Can I
not
tell
good
you,
enough?
real friends bring you real food.
Maybe.
Almost does not count as a present.
Maybe for the next one, because I know you're already hinting at having another one.
I want to get back onto you.
Hollywood thrives on alliances, and if you've got the right people backing you, you hold the power. Critics say Blake is being dramatic, but she hits back, claiming that certain fights demand you get a little loud. She's got a proven track record of philanthropic work.
Would show up on a set. I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a little pink sticker where I'm supposed to go and say what I'm supposed to say. But I also knew that that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character.
Well-respected performances, and she's a major force in shaping media. Narratives about women in film. Letting Justin's claims stain that legacy? Not happening. Meanwhile, the press is in a frenzy, analyzing every statement. Does Blake have a hidden ace up her sleeve? Are her receipts strong enough to shut down Justin once and for all?
And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went into meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled.
Social media is on red alert, with fans screenshotting every comment Blake posts, deciphering every vague line in her tweets. Maybe she's about to drop a legal bomb. maybe she's about to do an expose interview unmasking Justin's alleged hypocrisy.
That for them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull, because knowing what I want and what I need and representing that from the outset, and if people are into that and want to collaborate with me for all I feel like I need to offer and bring to a job.
Long before Justin Baldoni decided to put a target on her back, Blake Lively had her fair share of rumor-laden drama. She's no stranger to tongues wagging about private texts, cryptic images, or hush-hush relationships.
Talking about how she poisoned the cast against her now ex-boyfriend that she left for Ryan Reynolds, Penn Badgley.
But if we're honest, most of that chatter never gained the explosive force we're seeing now. There were murmurs about on-set feuds and quiet heartbreaks, but none have reached the scorching level Justin's created. Some say Justin took a page from an old rumor mill.
The interview was actually in 2009, so 2 years after they started dating.
The way tabloids tried to pit Blake against certain co-stars back in her early career. Those rumors painted her as cunning or controlling, especially during her breakout roles. She had to beat back story after story, each more ridiculous than the last, until eventually she overcame the noise through consistent success and carefully.
She was comfortable enough to say this about him after they had been dating for 2 years. If I was him, would be pissed when I heard this. Said in the interview that she was so upset when they cast him that she turned the whole cast against him.
Curated interviews. Interestingly, certain older controversies have suddenly found new life in light of Justin's allegations. For instance, those ancient whispers about Blake allegedly using her Hollywood connections to overshadow other actresses in big-budget films, or the claims that she leveraged personal relationships to snag endorsement deals. These dusty narratives are being dredged up again and pinned on new message boards. Fans wonder if Justin's borrowed these stale, half-forgotten morsels to add credibility to his own rant. But the question is, does any of it hold water? People love to watch a giant fall. And let's face it, Blake Lively is a giant in the sense of popularity and brand power. Combine that with how rumor-hungry the internet is, and you've got a perfect storm. Justin's scathing words somehow give new life to old speculation, forging a brand new wave of stories. For the moment, it doesn't matter if they're true. The public thrives on drama, and the bigger the star, the greater the spectacle. Meanwhile, sources tied to Blake claim she's outraged that Justin would drudge up anything from the past, especially since he'd had zero involvement in her earlier career. They say it's a personal attack that crosses professional boundaries. She's allegedly furious about him spinning the narrative that she's always been up to no good behind the scenes, fueling the notion that her entire career was built on shady maneuvers. To top it off, Justin himself has faced rumors about his own behind-the-scenes deals. Some claim he's not as squeaky clean as he portrays, that he's had friction with co-stars or crew members on past projects. Yet, people rarely dig those skeletons out because Justin's generally positioned himself as a champion of positivity, or mindfulness. This feud, however, has shattered that facade. Could it be that Justin's own controversies will boomerang back at him, courtesy of Blake's team? That's the question swirling around, because when you air out someone else's laundry, you risk your own skeletons breaking free from the closet. Allegedly, there's more than just social media warfare going on. Whispers suggest Blake Lively's legal team has been drafting documents for weeks, anticipating the storm that Justin Baldoni brought forth. If that's true, then this entire fiasco isn't just about tarnished reputations. It's about real money, real consequences, and possibly binding courtroom judgments. Picture the chaos behind the scenes. Lawyers sorting through screen captures of Justin's inflammatory remarks, gathering witness testimonies from mutual acquaintances, analyzing any suspicious timestamps. Every piece of digital evidence could prove crucial if this ends up in front of a judge. And from the sound of it, Blake's lawyers mean business. They're rumored to be pursuing defamation claims, all related to the damaging statements that Justin threw out into the public domain as if they were unfiltered truth. But it doesn't stop there. Some say Justin's team is retaliating with their own set of allegations. Their angle, that Blake's rumored behind-the-scenes manipulations have caused him financial and emotional distress. In other words, if they go toe-to-toe, it's going to be messy. Hollywood knows a lot about hush-hush settlements, but this particular fight seems too big to keep hidden. They're both in too deep, each determined not to let the other gain the upper hand. Meanwhile, the gossip machine is feasting on bits of leaked documents, or at least what's claimed to be leaks. Alleged copies of legal drafts appear and vanish on Twitter, only to resurface on niche celebrity forums. Some fans compile timelines of events, pairing them with cryptic references to forging. Nobody's entirely sure what's legitimate and what's speculation. The only constant is the mounting pressure, and it's not just the tabloids fueling the flame. Some of Justin's supporters insist that he has a rock-solid case, pointing to his philanthropic track record, insisting that he'd never invent such accusations without cause. Meanwhile, Blake's defenders argue that she's proven her worth. In countless philanthropic, commercial, and cinematic endeavors, why on earth would she stoop to the tactics Justin's describing? This alleged legal dispute also sends an ominous signal to other celebrities who might be lurking on the periphery, uncertain whether to weigh in. The moment they take a public stance, they could be drawn into depositions or find themselves singled out by the opposing side. For now, the big names prefer to watch from the sidelines, not wanting to be the next target. But here's the kicker. If a full-blown courtroom showdown happens, we might see a spectacle that dwarfs any previous celebrity trial in recent memory. The fact that Justin used social media as his platform adds a whole new dimension. Will every post, DM, and fleeting Instagram comment be dissected as evidence? Possibly. With that kind of intense scrutiny, nobody is safe. Once the avalanche of accusations hit, Hollywood's power players went into full observation mode. Who would pick a side? Whose name would pop up next in Justin's rants or Blake's fiery counterattacks? When a scandal this big breaks, you can bet it's going to alter relationships forever. Reports suggest Ryan Reynolds is seething behind closed doors. He's fiercely protective of his wife, and seeing her singled out in such a public, brutal way has set him on edge. He hasn't made any official statement, but cryptic hints float around his social media, a few short lines that fans interpret. As Sly digs at Justin, some believe Ryan's PR team is waiting for the perfect moment to pounce with a statement that counters Justin's allegations in detail. Other celebrities, from star-studded A-listers to lesser-known influencers, are quietly choosing their alliances. A handful of them have liked or reshared Blake's posts, a subtle but powerful nod of solidarity. In Hollywood, a simple like on social media can broadcast your stance to millions. Meanwhile, Justin has a few known supporters who claim he's simply telling the unfiltered truth, praising his willingness to speak out against what they call Hollywood hypocrisy. But not everyone's getting out unscathed. A few unlucky names are stuck in the crossfire. People who share management teams, have upcoming collaborations, or have publicly praised both Blake and Justin in the past. They're cornered, forced to navigate the tension with extreme caution. One wrong statement or misplaced comment could end entire friendships, sabotage film deals, or ruin brand endorsements. A-listers particularly hate drama that threatens their carefully preserved images. On the internet, fan battles are erupting. News Team Blake supporters barrage Justin's accounts with outraged messages, while dark support Justin fans hail him as a hero. For unmasking someone they consider manipulative, it's downright chaotic. Streams of comments, tweets, and threads dissect every new detail, every facial expression in the old interviews, searching for tells and lies. Everyone fancies themselves an amateur detective. Of course, this only amplifies the tension. The more attention the scandal garners, the bolder each side becomes. Meanwhile, the biggest question remains: do any of these so-called allies or stands actually know the full truth? Right now, it's all coming from two opposing narratives, each equally stubborn and sensational. Blake is adamant Justin's malicious and unhinged. Justin doubles down, saying he's tried to be polite for too long, and now he's fed up with the games. Just when you think the drama has peaked, a curveball arrives, ramping up the intensity again. Rumor has it there's an anonymous insider dropping truth bombs all over social media. Certain posts detail behind-the-scenes confrontations that supposedly happened months before Justin's Instagram Live. The posts paint a vivid picture. Urgent. Phone calls, meltdown texts from Justin, and stress-laden nights where Blake reportedly confided in close friends about her mounting frustration with him. One post in particular took everyone by surprise. It claimed Justin Baldoni once approached Blake for a hush-hush meeting to bury the hatchet, only for everything to blow up into a shouting match. Allegedly, he stormed out, vowing to expose her. Is it real? Hard to say, but the user who posted it claims to have a direct link to Justin's team. People are latching onto it, fueling the notion that Justin had been plotting his big public takedown for a while. Then, there's a separate incident where a slip-up from one of Justin's own close contacts left fans reeling. This contact mentioned, in a since-deleted tweet, that Justin wasn't exactly clean in this scenario. The tweet was erased within minutes, but screenshots last forever. Suddenly, the narrative that Justin might be a genuine whistleblower began to wobble. Could it be that he's stretching truths and twisting facts to paint Blake as the villain? All of this puts an even bigger microscope on the rumor that Justin's social media meltdown was calculated from the start, a cunning strategy to drag Blake's name, distract from his own shortcomings, and seize headlines. Meanwhile, Blake's steadfast claims that he's lying through his teeth ring louder than ever. And the best part? She hasn't even played all her cards, according to speculation. Sources say she's ready to unleash a bombshell if he refuses to back off. At this point, fans are speculating about everything: secret recordings, email screenshots, or maybe even NDAs that are about to be broken. The swirl of excitement and dread intensifies daily. Journalists scramble to confirm any of these rumors, while official reps for both parties keep a tight lid, likely preparing for the next big move. In the end, what began as one Instagram Live has snowballed into an all-encompassing feud, pulling in family members, colleagues, fans, and every stray rumor from years gone by. Blake Lively stands firm, claiming she won't be bullied by Justin Baldoni's words she calls manipulative and loaded with lies. Justin, on the other hand, insists he's blowing the whistle on a powerful figure whose carefully curated image is about to come undone. The reality is that no matter how this ends, the entire situation has already left a deep imprint on Hollywood. Reputations have been singed, alliances reconfigured, and a cautionary tale carved out. There's no limit to how far and how fast things can spiral once social media and legal threats collide. As the dust settles, you have to ask yourself, is there a winning side, or do both players step off stage battered and bruised? For now, all we can do is brace ourselves for the next round of revelations. Because when a rumor this huge takes on a life of its own, it's rarely quieted by half measures. One thing's for sure, the tension is skyrocketing, and the final outcome might shock us all. Keep your eyes peeled, because with each passing hour, we edge closer to that defining moment. And once it arrives, the aftermath will echo through Hollywood for a long, long time.